Good morning, grade 10. You will watch this video and then you will try the activity by yourself. We are talking about activity 4.8.3 on page 76. So in this one, you're going to create a program and you're going to save it as board game _u and board game _p. The player gets, two players are going to throw a dice, so you're going to simulate the throw of a dice. There's no input from the user. The random number that's going to be generated, that will be our input, and you'll display the random numbers like they are here. When they click player 1 button, then they'll display the random number there, and player 2 button gets clicked, and then player 2's throw will be displayed. The highest number will then get to start a game. So normally that's what happens. Well, anyway, you open Delphi and we go File, New, VCL Forms Application, and immediately after doing that you have to go and save it. So you go File, Save All. That's the first thing we're going to do, is save it. I'm going to save it in a folder. You go navigate to your folder where you want to save it. Well, you are going to create a folder as well, but you will navigate to the place where you want to create a folder, and I'm going to create this one over here, and I'm going to create a folder. I would now go and create a folder. Click on New Folder, and we're going to call it board game folder. So then I open the folder, and over here my first save is going to be unit 1. I'm going to get rid of the unit 1 and call it board game _u. Alright, and then click save. Then the next save window will come up, and over here I'll delete the project 1 that comes up there, and I'll say board game _p. Board game, one word, _p, and then save. And now we have saved the program. We don't have to worry about that. All we have to worry about now is putting our components on. We need a label, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 labels and 2 buttons. Go to our tool palette over here on the right hand side, find label, one for the heading, and then each time you have to go and click there and go and put the labels on. And for our headings we don't have to change the name. The buttons, we must give them names. So there's button 1 and button 2. That looks sort of alright. Okay, now just for displaying, to tell the user what's what, we don't have to give the labels names. So for that first label, throw the dice, I'm going to click there, go to the caption and type throw the dice. And then for label 2 over here, I'm going to say player 1 throw is going to be that caption, player 1 throw, and this one I'll change the caption here to player 2 throw. Then for the output, these labels I'm going to give names. Okay, LBL, I'm going to give them names. Over here I'm going to go to the name property now for those labels. LBL player 1, and this label will be named LBL player 2. Take note, when you change the name, the caption changes to whatever that name is. You can go and delete the caption for each label. Of course you don't know where the labels are, they sort of look invisible, but you know they're over there. You see, there they are, named. And those are the 3 unnamed labels, are just for display. We don't have to name them. Now buttons, we need to give the buttons a name. I'm going to call this BTN, where's my name property, BTN player 1, and the other button will be BTN player 2. You write BTN in front of the button name, and that's very important because we need to know in our code, when we look at our code, we want to see what are those buttons called. I just realized you can't hear me because my mic is far away. Now can you hear me? Well, I certainly hope you can. Good. Right. So now we are going to change the caption of these buttons. The names have been changed, and now we're going to go to caption. Put in there player 1. Is that what the caption must be? Yep. And that caption will be, take note, I'm in the caption property here, player, don't get confused between name and caption. Remember, caption is only for displaying, and name is the actual name that the processor recognizes in code. Names must be one word. Right, now we've got our interface, file save all to make sure it's all saved. And then we are going to go and put in our code. Now remember that we're not going to have a random, we're not going to have input, we're going to use a random function to determine a number from 1 to 6. So each time in the player 1 is clicked, then we must generate a random number. Okay. So I'm going to make a variable to hold it, var rran1 colon integer. We know that dices rn1, okay, that's my variable, and we make that equal to a random number, so it's random range equal random range from 1 to 6. Therefore I must put a 7 as a second parameter. There's two things in random range. First one is the bottom number, the lowest number that we want to be able to choose, and 7 is one more than the highest number that must be chosen. So that's rn1. And what are we going to do with rn1? We're going to put it in the label lbl player1.caption equals rn1. But that's not correct because caption is a string. Therefore rn1 must be int to string. And then brackets rn1. You see, the more you do this, the easier it becomes. And we're going to do the same for player 2. And guess what I'm going to do? Copy and paste from player 1 click event. Make sure I paste it all there, and that's going to be rn2. Change 1 to 2, player 2, interstring rn2. There it is, folks. And now when you run the code, oops, we have errors. Here's the thing. Random range, undeclared. So I'm so glad that happened. And you know why? By the way, if you're in this run mode, you can go to run program reset. Okay, if you think that you can't access your code or anything, that run program reset button there, if it's bold, then you'll be able to click on it, and that will actually stop the running of your program if for any reason it doesn't want to stop running. Okay, remember, run program reset. Now, the reason why random range doesn't want to be recognized is because we haven't put in a math unit in our uses section. Yep, that sounds like Greek to you, but you go all the way to the top and you see here in our interface, which is like your ingredients of your program, one of the ingredients is other programs that are situated in your computer that the processor uses, including any units that are sitting in the Delphi library. So math is a unit that needs to be, or program that needs to be included in uses. And if we use math, because math is not there, you can go and check, nope. Use math, then you can use square and square root. So, right, we still got errors. LBL player 1. Now, what is the name of my label for my player 1? Right, it is LBL player 1.caption. So why on earth doesn't it want to accept that? We'll see. It says undeclared identifier LBL player 1. Ah, do you see that? LBL payer 1, spelled incorrect. So let's go and click on it. Yeah, we can't find it. You can't find it. If you click over there, where's the label? Can't see it. Well, go to the left hand side, structure list, click on LBL, the one you want to change, and go here to the name property, because remember it's the name that must be changed. Player 1. Right, so now it should work. Take note, I looked up top here. Can you see the names of all your components are right on the top here underneath type? You can see them there too. So let's go and do it again. Click the buttons. Right, player 2 throws. He's now got a 2. Oh, player 1 throws. Can you see? So if you click the button, random numbers appear on the screen. And I hope you heard all of that. And well, we will hear from me again tomorrow. We will do 4.8.4. And if you have any time, you can try it by yourself and then check tomorrow's video. No, wait, we want to do we're not going to do 4.8.4. We're going to move on to activity 4.9 in the next lesson. But if you want to try this one just for yourself, just go ahead if you've already done that one in the lesson. Bye bye.